everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Elon Musk buys Twitter and says, we're going to have free speech. Well, unfortunately, he didn't ask somebody's permission, and that's Jonathan Greenblatt, the head of the Jewish Anti-Defamation League, who says, but if you have free speech, there may be anti-Semitism. So he shuts down Twitter. That was last year. The richest man in the world, the founder of the most valuable American car company, and the owner of SpaceX, which has launched more rockets than any other space agency in the world. So, in other words, this guy is like a true American. This is like maybe the greatest American. Elon Musk, in the 21st century, creates the most valuable car company and manufactures cars in America. Then he goes and creates a rocket company. And he's going to bring us back to the moon. And SpaceX is responsible for more rocket launches than any other space agency, government or private, in the entire world. Cars, rockets. This guy is like what America's all about. And he buys Twitter to do what? Reinstate the First Amendment. Another thing, cars, rockets, and the First Amendment. Elon Musk buys Twitter so that Americans could have free speech. What a novel concept. But who has something to say about it? Who opposes this guy? The ADL, a Jewish mafia group. And they say, time out, oy vey. But if you restore free speech, then people might be anti-Semitic, and we can't have that. Literally. This is not me saying this. This is what they say. They say, well, hate speech is through the roof. We're going to have to shut you down, Goy. We're going to have to shut your little website down. This is what they say. That's been the fight for the past year. Then, this year, when this war in Gaza breaks out, Elon Musk tweets something at somebody who says that the Jews support all these non-whites in America, and now it's biting them in the ass and blah, blah, blah. And Elon Musk says, well, I totally agree. Now there's this big row over that remark. He said an anti-Semitic remark. So now there's another ad boycott. Now all the big companies are boycotting because he made an anti-Semitic remark. And there's a big debate. Was it anti-Semitic? Wasn't it? Was it not? This is the richest man in the world. Again, owner of a rocket company, a car company, trying to bring back free speech to Twitter. And there's a giant row. Disney and all the biggest companies in the world say, well, we're pulling our support from you because, well, we think your remark is anti-Semitic. Who cares? Who cares? It's the richest guy in the world running Twitter versus the most valuable companies in the world, and they're in a row over whether he said he agreed with the statement that's anti-Semitic on Twitter. And people want to weigh in and say, no, that wasn't anti-Semitic. Here's me over here like, who cares if it was? Who cares? Why does Disney and all these other companies, why do they care so much? Why does anyone care that much? This is America. We have a First Amendment. We have free speech. We're entitled to engage in political discourse. If that offends Jews, get in line. It's politics. It offends everybody. Everything offends everybody. It's contentious issues. And not only that, but this is one of the great Americans. It happened last year to Kanye West. Kanye West is one of the, if not the, #1 recording artists of the 21st century. He's a billionaire. He not only revolutionized music, but he also revolutionized fashion. He is one of the most famous people, one of the most streamed artists this year and for 20 years.
And remember, this was years ago when this came out. So this is an old clip, but just understand what's happening today.
Influential in streetwear and fashion, the biggest streetwear brand since Michael Jordan. Another American great. If you could basically pick the great white American and the great black American, those would be them. If you could pick the greatest white Americans, you'd maybe pick Elon Musk or Donald Trump. If you pick the greatest black American, you'd probably pick Kanye West. Both of them ripped apart because of anti-Semitic remarks. And what I'm saying here is that we as a society need to get over that. It's insane. It is insane that we live all the way over here. The Holocaust happened 80 years ago in some other place, and I don't even think it happened the way they said it did. This is a country of 330 million people, and we're all being held hostage about the sensitivity of the Jews. This great nation of hundreds of millions of people, founded and settled and fought for by whites, is being held at gunpoint. Its greatest and most successful people, its most valuable properties and most valuable aspects of its culture are being deprived and held at gunpoint.
And I want to say this about Kanye West, man. What it do, everyday people, man. Make sure y'all follow me at everydaypj politics. Thanks y'all for tuning in. About Kanye West. Kanye West, he had a concert shut down, or it wasn't happening, and it was going to be a very large concert somewhere in Europe, and the venue didn't want to host him because Pepsi, who was it was either Pepsi or Michelob. It was a drink company. I think it was Pepsi. They were going to pull their I guess their advertisement and stuff, because I think they're the main brand in that facility. So Pepsi was going to pull their money back if they had a Kanye West, and so a Kanye West concert. So that just because he said this some years ago, now fast forward to right now, Kanye West, he dropped a video, a commercial on the Super Bowl a couple years ago, and sold his little sock shoe thing. I bought 2 pair, and they were $20 each. It took about 2 months to get them, but it didn't matter. And then I wrote them and was like, man, they sent it to my old address, because I use Apple Pay. Like I paid it real fast, and Apple Pay just like, psh. I was like, damn. So it went to my old address. So they sent me another pair. So now eventually my pair finally got to me like 2 months after the 2 months that I had already waited. So I ended up getting 2 pair. And so that was dope with them. And that was from Kanye West, just the Yeezy brand. Now Yeezys are back being sold in stores. Mind you, you could go get them right now, but now you could just go pick them up inside of a store, which is great because now it won't take 2 months to get your articles of clothing. But now I believe that they'll be going up in prices. But you see the shift when when it comes down to money, they gonna want a piece of it. And when I say they, we know who we talking about. But for them to take that all away and suppress him like they did, I think that's kind of crazy that they would get suppressed such as they did, and especially because Adidas is a German company. Like, they still paying for what they did, okay? Not really. I don't know. But if people can get on Twitter and say the NIGGER all night long and just shoot it off, and nobody bats an eye, but say one thing about the Jews and you're out of here. And I think, I think that should be looked into, because, discriminating on any race for any reason is horrible. But again, like Nick Fuentes says, why is America so hell bent on this whole Israel thing? I don't know. Why is the Israel flag being flown with the American flag? I don't know. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, why is it? Because this is America. But we're supposed to represent our country. And that's all I'm saying. I will represent my country. I don't know why we're flying another flag. I don't mind if they fly their flag. If you're a Jewish person, be my guest and fly your flag. But I think somehow, some way, this Israel Jewish stuff is being forced upon us, like other things. Many other things in our American culture are being forced upon us that one would say Democrats and liberals would push on people. and of course the football, the basketball situation we talked about, the WNBA situation we talked about yesterday. Things like that are being forced upon us. Now we all be like, we shouldn't hate them for that, but I'm like, I mean, if America's born on Christian values, we can just stick to that. You know, we don't have to be like full blown Christian, but we got to just be like, tote the line a little bit, like tote the line, like, you know.
On the basis of anti-Semitism. So that's why I throw this whole thing in the garbage. People say, well, wait a second. Anti-Zionism isn't anti-Semitism. What Elon Musk said isn't anti-Semitic. Kanye West isn't anti-Semitic. So what if they were? So what? Who says they are? And who gets to determine that? And why does it matter? We entrust the Jewish elite to determine what's anti-Semitic, and then lest somebody be labeled that, then they're ostracized completely? I don't think so. And this is where I think I'm a truly revolutionary figure, because I'm coming out there and I'm saying I'm going to shatter your notions of morality by saying that I define the morality in terms of Jesus Christ. If you are with the devil, you should be treated like anti-Semites are treated. People look at the things I say and they say, you're radioactive. You said the Holocaust was embellished. What a reprehensible, evil thing. I will never associate with you. Really? Because that's how I feel about pornography. That's how I feel about abortion. That's how I feel about Satanists, of which there are many actually in society now. That's how I feel about gay men that pretend to be married and then create a child with the intention of robbing that child from its biological parents, from its parents. I view that as reprehensible. And I think the good people are not the people that are the nicest to Israel, but they're the most pious and faithful Christians. Is that crazy? Am I insane for saying that? I'm an American. I believe in Jesus Christ. Therefore, the people that are the best are the ones with the most loyalty to America and the most faith in Christ. And the worst are the ones that are the most treacherous, the most parasitic in America, the ones that destroy or take, the ones that violate the community, and the ones that are against Christ, the ones that are against the morality laid out by Jesus and the church. Elon.
All right, there you have it. So, like I said, he's speaking where I understand. I know a lot of people are wondering who is this Nick Fuentes guy. If you don't know, he's very interesting to listen to because he really don't give a damn about nobody, but he just speaks the truth and what's on his mind. Now, it's like getting high with your friend and your friend just be saying the wildest stuff and you be like, damn, that kind of makes sense. That's what like listening to Nick Fuentes is like. He might be high, but he make a lot of sense. And it's just like, how did these things happen? Who pushes the button on these things? Because I don't want to get in here and say something crazy and then just defending what I think is right for me in my life. And then now somebody saying, oh, you're anti-Semitic. But I'm like, damn, people go and hate black people all the day. And I don't know. We're not having a press conference about that. I would like at least a press conference on why people hate black people so much, why people are targeting black people so much, when literally you have somebody putting their foot on your neck about everything. Like, again, the music industry. This is the biggest thing. People say the music industry influences the kids so much with the shootings and the drill music and, you know, smoking on the ops and stuff like that, smoking a Pookie pack and stuff like that. But we're not pushing that music out. We're not pushing the buttons. We're listening to it. We're paying for the records. We're downloading it. We're streaming it. But it's somebody else back there pushing the button, pushing the go button on all that stuff. You know, how is this stuff allowed to be played on the radio? These songs are remember that one song was a viral TikTok thing, and it was a actual kid that actually died from that song. that his family was affected. A lot of kids that was in that song was affected. Julio Fulio actually got killed over that song. You know, it's a lot of that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, if it's okay to terrorize the black community, like he said, why y'all worried? But why y'all so mad? And why y'all destroy everybody when somebody says something mad to y'all? Like I don't get it. Like not even the whites can do anything about somebody getting online and talking about the whites. It's so weird. But you say the wrong nationality, your ass is grass. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section.